How's it going, everyone? Today we got a story time of a kid who says that he is not only just the top G, but he is also a Sigma. He decides that he is going to show that he actually is the Riz Master and tries to prove it and gets absolutely owned. I just want to warn you guys, if you are not prepared for maximum levels of cringe, that this video, this story time might just not be for you. And I just want to be straight up about it. So yeah, for everyone else though, sit back, relax, subscribe if you're new, leave a like on the video to claim your free nothing. And with that all being said, let's just jump right into it. So this all happened in the subscribers class. So, I mean, you guys probably know that a lot of like the alpha male TikTok videos have gotten really popular. I mean, you probably have like Andrew Tate is the most popular one out of all of them. But there's a lot of just like Sigma grind set type content out there. Some of it's actually not too bad. Some of it's like you should go to the gym, like good thing. You should, focus on yourself. You should be confident. All that stuff's good. But there's also a lot of goofy stuff out there too. And in the subscribers class, we're going to call this kid, we're going to call him the Sigma Grindset kid. I just think Sigma Grindsets is such a funny term. So the Sigma Grindset kid used to be pretty, or we're going to call him I don't want to call him the top G. We're just going to call him the cringy kid. I'm sorry. That's really what it is. So the cringy kid used to be pretty normal. He used to be just like one of these normal kids, right? He used to be actually kind of friends with the subscriber. Like they weren't boys or anything, but they were kind of close. But basically, right, the cringy kid had fallen down the rabbit hole on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or whatever, right, of just that kind of like the Sigma grind set content. And like it had kind of been like slow at first, but then they went away for like, I don't know. I think this was like, I don't even know when this was. They just had like some kind of break or a long weekend or something. And apparently the kid just spent like 6 hours a day watching like Sigma grind set YouTube Shorts or whatever. So this all happens on like the Tuesday they get back from their long weekend. And so the subscriber sits down in class and he sees the cringy kid walk in. And the cringy kid walks in and he has a speaker with him. And the cringy kid walks in with the speaker. And first of all, the first thing you notice is bro has completely changed his fit. Bro has changed, honestly, Loki looking kind of good, looking kind of fly, but bro has completely changed his fit. But the thing that was, like, the funniest and the most awkward was, like, the Andrew Tate, like, music where it's, like, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then he's, like, it's, like, his background music, and there's, like, a joke that, like, wherever he goes, it's, like, that music. I'm not gonna play it because it's definitely copyrighted, and if I get copyrighted, then big sad. But basically the kid brought a little portable like JBL speaker, whatever, and was blasting that as he was walking into class. Yeah, he also had sunglasses on, which like sunglasses can look kind of nice, but dude, don't wear them inside. All I'm saying is like, bro, if you're wearing the sunglasses inside, it's like, hey man, the sun's not out right now. Like, there are some circumstances where I think that's fine, but bro is just trying to do, like, the Sigma male, like, cosplay or whatever. Bro probably tried to, like, stretch out his, like, kind of, like, protrude his rod to have, like, the Sigma guy, like, that kind of meme. Like, whatever, right? So, but the funniest thing, or I should say the cringiest thing, really, is that he's blasting the Andrew Tate theme song music as he's walking in. And, like, everyone in the class turns their head, and they just look at this kid. And he's walking in, like, really weirdly. He must have, like, watched some, like, video of someone being like, okay, guys, so here's the science behind being really swag. Which, first of all, if you watch a video of how to be quote-unquote swag, I got a feeling that you're going in the wrong direction in life. And, like, yeah, another thing I do want to say is, like, there's some good people that get kind of lumped up into the space. Like, I think if you watch people like, Aman Ghazi, Luke Belmar, those people are actually really cool. They have a lot to say. Obviously don't take it's not the word of God. Don't do everything that they say, obviously. And you shouldn't really idolize anyone on the internet. But, look, whenever it comes to this type of content, like, I would say the best way to go about it is, like, kind of be like a vulture, not, like, in the sense of, like, eat the meat, leave the bone. Sometimes there's a lot of bone, but there's probably maybe a little marrow in there. Like, there's a little bone marrow. Go and get what's good out of it. But anyways, right, so bro really is walking in, and he must have watched some kind of, like, weird video of, like, how to be, like, this is how an alpha male walks. Don't walk like a beta. And I'm not gonna lie, there is some truth to, like, walk with your shoulders, like, your head up, shoulders back, have a little bit of a smile, right? Just don't be flopping around the place. Don't be hunched over like you're 90 with like chronic back conditions. Like, stand up for yourself, man. But bro had not really taken the message from those videos, if that was the message, because the cringy kid walked in with just like the most exaggerated, ridiculous walking ever. Like, dude was like flailing his legs and arms. And yeah, okay, so he took the idea of have your shoulder pressed up. Like, here's the thing, like, if you want to like have good posture, like stand up, put your shoulders up, put your shoulders back, and then let them fit. Like, think of like having like a rod up your butt. Okay, don't think about having a rod up your butt, but you guys get what I mean. Anyways, though, so the kid must have taken the whole like chest up thing a little bit too crazy because he started like protruding his chest like he started like arching his back, bro. Bro was literally arching his back to like push out his chest and his arms were like flopping around. And remember, this is while he's carrying in like a JBL speaker blasting the Andrew Tate theme song music. This was this was not as Sigma and Alpha and the ladies love him as he truly believed it was. So anyways, right, eventually this kid sits down and he like falls into his chair. Like, bro actually has the most dramatic sitting you've ever seen. You might be thinking, how does someone sit dramatically? And let me just say, I don't know, but he did. So, yeah, anyways, he sits down, and unfortunately, he sits right next to the subscriber. Him and the subscriber were never really that close of friends, but they knew each other, and they had a few good interactions. The thing is, though, like, the cringy kid had, like, he didn't really have any close friends. Part of that was just he didn't really make the effort, and other people didn't make the effort, but he was always chill with everyone. Like, before this whole era of the Sigma grindset era, basically, he was always cool with everyone. Like, no one really had issues with him. But he also didn't have, like, super close friends. Everyone was just cool with him. But he sits down next to the subscriber, and the subscriber's like, oh, no. Because here's the thing, right? I don't think people really thought that, like, the subscriber was part of this. But the subscriber, at the end of the day, he just didn't feel like being associated with the nonsense, if you know what I mean. And I totally get it, man. I don't want to be associated with the nonsense either. Like, that's annoying, bro. Like, that's actually mad annoying. I don't want to be associated. Like, that is totally valid. Anyways, though, so yeah, the kid sits next to the subscriber, and he's still blasting the Andrew Tate Sigma Grindset music. And the subscriber's like, yo, bro, like, maybe you could turn that down a little bit. And the cringy kid is still sitting there with his sunglasses on, being like, you do not tell a Sigma what to do. And the subscriber's like, okay. What? What? The subscriber's like, what was that? Yeah, so anyways, right, the subscriber, I don't know, man. It's just like just a crazy thing to like, bro, I mean, the subscriber really just said, hey, man, could you turn down your music? And the kid's like, you do not tell what a Sigma male to do. And he's like, okay, relax, buddy. Relax. It's just not that deep. Bro, it just really isn't. Like, relax. Calm down. Oh my God. Okay. Bro actually blew a gasket over being asked to, like, turn down the music just a little bit. You're in class. Yeah, and also, like, this was really weird. Like, I don't know. In some high schools, at least I've seen, like, I don't know, like, TV show. So who knows how accurate it really is. But, like, sorry, I just swallowed something. People would just, like, walk down the hallways, like, playing music or whatever. But that never happened in the subscribers' high school. Like, no one played music. Like, I don't think they would get in trouble. Maybe they would, but it just, like, wasn't part of the culture to have, like, music playing at all times. Like, at least in the high school the subscriber went to. And definitely no one ever played it in class. Like, maybe there was one time someone had something going, like, maybe on their phone for a little bit, like, as, I don't know, right? But especially not in class. So it was super, super weird. Like, ignoring everything else, even if he was just playing, like, ignoring the whole Sigma stuff, imagine he was just playing normal music, even that would be really weird. So the subscriber's still in a little bit of a daze of just, like, what did this kid just say to me? And that's when the cringy kid, like, kind of leans over to the subscriber, is like, hey, man, sorry for snapping on you. I just don't understand the limitations of my own power sometimes. Which is just... what? Yeah, so the subscriber is just like, oh my God, like, I was once cool with this kid. Like, I hate myself for being cool with this kid. Like, is this my fault? Like, did I do something? Yeah, so the kid goes on to be like, yeah, you know, it's just like the wolf inside was starting to come out a little bit. I'm sorry. And the subscriber's like, dude, you're good. Okay. Honestly, at this point, the subscriber was just like really hoping that the kid would just, like, stop talking to him because he's just like, dude, please Please stop talking to me. I don't want to be associated with this. I just simply don't want to be associated with whatever this is, right? And so anyways, right, the cringy kid like leans over to some other kid, but the subscriber is close enough that he hears what the cringy kid is saying. So basically, right, the cringy kid leans over and starts telling some other kid that apparently, basically what he starts saying to this other kid is like, "Hey man, like I don't know if you realize, but over the long weekend, I came to such a crazy self-discovery about myself." And like I mean, look, no one really cares, but like I guess the kid next to him was like, "Okay." Like not like, "Oh man, what did you discover about yourself?" He was just like, "Okay." Like just all right. Cool. Good for you, bro. Like, nice. W, I guess. Like, I don't know. Bro just didn't really care. But then the cringy kid goes on and be like, yeah. So I discovered, completely ignoring the fact that, like, there was, like, very minimal interest in what he was saying. But he's like, yes, and I discovered about myself, basically, that I am actually quite a top G in Sigma. I decided to let you know. I don't really know how I would respond personally if someone goes up to me and says, hey, by the way, bro, I just want to let you know that I identify as a top G in Sigma male. I'd be like, okay. All right. Yeah, so obviously it's a little bit like, it's pretty awkward at this point. And at this point, I think the kid's turned off his music, but he's just like he's just continuing to be very like weird. And some of the kids in the back of the class were kind of like super amused by this. Like they weren't like, whoa, he's actually so cool in Sigma. Like, no, they were not actually thinking that, but they were like, lol, this kid's making a fool of himself. Free entertainment, boys. Right, so they go up to talk to him, and they're all like, yeah, so it looks like you're a Sigma now. Kind of like, because I think they overheard what he said to the other kid. And the cringy kid, look, this went straight to his head. He's like, yeah, you're right. I am a Sigma male. But I'm also the top G as well. I just thought I'd let you know too. And they were like, oh, for real, bro? You're also the top G? Oh, that's sick, dude. Like, I didn't even know that. Like, I totally knew that you were a Sigma, but I didn't know you were also top G. Like, bro, that's sick. And they were like holding back their laughter the whole time. But I think the cringy kid was so just like stuck in his own delusion to a sense that he was just like, oh man, like, oh my God, they're realizing the truth. I am actually a Sigma. I gotta let them know that I'm also the top G. I don't want to let that slip by. And like the subscriber at this point was watching the whole thing go down and just like, dear God, man, what is happening? So anyways, right, this group of guys like went up to who were like messing with like the cringy kid and were gassing him up just to like bring him down. We're like, so dude, so since you're like, the top G in the Sigma male, right, that also means that must mean that like you're really good at rizzing girls up. So the subscriber submitted the story has told me that the cringy kid pre-Sigma grind set was actually okay. It sounds mean for me to say so trash, but also you guys have heard my stories when I was in middle school or high school or whatever. I did not have my Riz was in beta stage, bro. That's the most virgin way to say it too. Yeah, I was not great about it. I had some moves that were just so lame. So I can relate. However, probably part of the reason why the cringy kid went down the whole like Sigma grind set like rabbit hole is because he's had like no success with girls, which I mean, you look for a validation for people to tell you what to do. And he was like, oh yeah, because he has to keep up the whole Sigma persona now. So he can't just be like, no, I'm the top G, but I'm trash for talking to women. I mean, he could try the whole, like, I focus on grinding aspect. Like, I just, like, grind all day. Lol. But no, he was like, no, I actually, I'm totally, like, I'm actually extremely, I could riz up any girl and they would say yes immediately. Like, you better watch out, bro. Like, you might think that you locked up the house with your girl, but guess what, bro? I'm the key. Like, he was just saying some nonsense like that. So at this point, right, all the kids that, like, were gassing him up, they look, what they were doing, but also probably they were doing it for the best because bro needed reality to slap him in the face. Yeah, so anyways, right, the cringy kid needed to hold his persona of being super swag or whatever. So the kids who were now kind of got him into a corner because they gassed him up and then they kind of said, oh, so since you're so alpha or whatever, so you must be pretty good with girls. Knowing that he sucks, right? He just had a reputation for just being so mid when it comes to that stuff, which, like, same, so I can relate. But they were like, oh, so you can riz up anyone. And he's like, yeah, I can. Like, I can. And they're like, oh, so go riz up Julia over there. Okay, so Julia was in she wasn't in a relationship. She was in a kind of like a exclusive like little thing with some guy that she was actually sitting next to in the class. And everyone knew it. She was practically in a relationship, but they just didn't technically call it that. But it was like everything of a relationship besides, the term, right? They'd only see each other. It would be completely cheating if they went after someone else. It was basically a relationship. It's actually I always find it kind of dumb. It's like, oh, well, I don't want to call it a relationship. Dude, it frickin' is, okay? Like, okay. What's the saying? Like, walks like a duck, talks like a duck, or sounds like a duck, looks like a duck. It's a frickin' duck, bro, okay? Same situation. But anyways, right, so they pointed at Julia. They're like, oh, so you can riz up her? And, like, the cringy kid for a second was probably thinking, no, she basically has a boyfriend. But then he couldn't say that because, like, if he's actually top G, it shouldn't matter, man. Just because there's a goalie, my friend, does not mean you cannot score. On the real, though, if you know someone's in a relationship, try and respect those boundaries. And also, if you're in a relationship, if you don't cheat. Like, that is, like, I don't know. I have a pretty strong, like, moral code with, like, some things that I just personally stand by. But I do genuinely believe, as, like, a general rule, look, if you want to be with someone else, fine. I have actually nothing wrong with you wanting to be with someone else. But don't be with someone else while you've made a commitment to another person, unless it is explicitly defined within the relationship/commitment that you've entered with this person. If you're in a relationship where you guys have defined, okay, well, I can actually go find other people and do whatever I want with them. If that's defined, I don't care. That's not cheating. Just don't break someone's trust. It's like, if you want to have honor or respect, especially as a man, please just don't do that. There's nothing cool about, oh yeah, I'm going to go cheat my girlfriend. I'm going to go cheat my boyfriend. No, nothing's cool with that. Lame. Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber was watching as the cringy kid is like, all right, kind of hyping himself up. And because he now has to go over Julia, who's talking to the guy who she's basically in a relationship with. And so he's like, all right, boys, like, you're about to see the master at work. And all the kids are like, all right, yeah, we're ready to see the quote-unquote master at work, man. We're really excited to see you pull this off. They all very well knew that he was not about to pull this off. They knew almost for a fact that he was going to be far from doing anything successful in this department. They knew that they were setting him up for failure. Like, without a doubt, they were setting him up to get absolutely clowned/owned/wrecked. Like, they knew what they were doing, bro. That's the worst thing, too. They knew exactly what they were doing here. Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the cringy kid decides to go up to Julia, and it is about to be one of the most awkward, uncomfortable interactions you've ever seen. Real quick, if you made it as far into the video, go ahead and comment top G down below. That'll be the secret word of the day. I'm still on vacation, so comment it a bunch of times, and I'll try and heart some of your comments. And while you're down there, check out either the description or the pinned comment to get a link to the Spotify. I upload these stories as podcasts on Spotify, and Spotify is kind of doing a whole new, like, algorithm or whatever, and it'd be really cool to be popular on there too. So if you happen to use Spotify, please go ahead and follow me on there, and then also listen to some stuff on there as well. It is super helpful, and it does support me. Anyways, let's get back to the story, assuming you press the like button and claim your free nothing, because it's a limited time offer, guys. Limited time, it expires forever. Plus 1 day. So anyways, you should go ahead and do that. So yeah, sure enough, the subscriber is watching as he sees the cringy kid walk over to Julia, and he just knows for a fact. He just knows for a freaking fact. This is about to be one of the cringiest, most uncomfortable things that he's ever seen. And the subscriber is not wrong. So anyways, right, the cringy kid, to hype himself up, starts walking towards Julia and starts playing the Andrew Tate theme song music. And so, like, Julia's, like, talking to the guy that she's basically exclusive with, and they both stop talking and look towards the kid, and they probably at first they're probably like, oh my god, that's so weird, haha. And then they start to realize a slow creeping feeling of dread, like a sense of dread, because they start to realize that the cringy kid, is not just, like, playing music walking in a direction. He's walking in their direction. So anyways, right, sure enough, like the cringy kid starts walking towards Julia and the guy, and it's just so awkward and just so uncomfortable and just so weird. And eventually, like the subscriber watches as the guy walks up to both of them and basically turns, like he faces both of them and then turns straight, like turns directly facing Julia to basically have his back facing the other guy. Basically, kind of to imply that, like, look, bro, I'm cooking. Let me cook, bro. Like, whatever, right? So sure enough, he starts his immaculate, insanely incredible, most ingenious riz of all time. He's like, "What's good? Like, what's good? Like, I just want to let you know that you're in the presence of a top G right now." And she's like, "I'm what?" He's like, "I just want to let you know you're in the presence of a top G right now. Just thought I'd let you know." So, yeah, I don't know, man. If I was Julia, I'd really have no idea how to react because to all the girls watching this, if a guy came up to you and was like, "You're in the presence of a top G," I don't know if I'm like, maybe I'm totally wrong. You guys are going to correct me in the comments, but I got a bit of a feeling that that's not actually going to be like such a net positive. That's not going to be a great way to start off. Anyways, though, so she's like, okay, which is kind of a fair response. Like, actually, how do you respond to that? Like, I'm the top G, huh? Like, okay. Sure, like, sixth grader who is, like, literally sleeps at his parents' house, has not done anything, you're the top G, sure. Yeah, whatever. That makes a lot of sense. And he's like, so it would be quite an honor if you were to date me, right? Like, it would be, like, super crazy if you were to, like, go out with me. Like, I have a lot of girls on I have a lot of girls on my phone. Like, you would just be another one, but if you wanted to be one of my girls, like, I guess I could allow it. And she's like, I'm good. And I think, like, at this point, I think the cringy kid, to some degree, was kind of not really expecting it to work. But at the same time, like, I think he also had a bit of, like, delusion, confidence, like, something was going on, bro. Like, he must have kind of believed the character he was putting on. And he was like, sorry, I don't think I heard you right, because I just totally offered you a spot as one of my girls, like one of a bunch of other girls, a lot of them much hotter and more successful than you, by the way. So I don't even know why I'm extending the invitation to you, but I just want to let you know, like, that'd be a crazy thing to deny. So I totally heard you wrong. And she's like, I'm gonna have to, she's like, no, I'm good. And if you have hotter girls, like, you should just hang out with them. And he's like, ugh! Yeah, so anyways, right, sure enough, the subscriber's watching this go down. He's just like, oh my God, this is actually so uncomfortable. So he's like, you're making such a bad choice right now. Like, I'm literally top G. And so the guy who, like, Julia's been talking to, like, for the most part, he's kind of just, like, let this all slide. But at a certain point, like, this basically is, like, his girl. And, this guy's been talking, not just, like, trying to flirt her up, right? But been doing it kind of disrespectfully, like, not been the nicest guy about it. So he kind of goes, he kind of, like, taps the guy, like, the cringy kid. Cringy kid turns around, and the guy's like, hey, man, like, I don't think she's interested. Like, you should probably, like, try someone else. Which is honestly kind of a nice way to go about it. Like, I'm sure that there's a lot of guys who, like, would have been like, yo, get the frick out of here, bro. Like, you're ugly, you're cringe. He didn't even go for the ad hominem, which would have been so easy, so easy. Yeah, so sure enough, right, I think the cringy kid was just so taken aback by the fact that someone actually talked back to him that, like, I don't know, because he kind of got owned a little bit. So what the cringy kid did is, in response to the guy, who was actually kind of, like, cool about it, like, he's just like, hey, man, like, it's pretty obvious she's not interested. Let's just move on. Let's just do something else, like, valid. And he's like, what color is your Bugatti? Like, he just thinks, oh my God, I actually just own this kid. But here's the thing, right? I think the cringy kid probably thought to himself, okay, I literally just got this kid so bad. Ha ha ha, right? Look, even if you got a Bugatti, like, I always say take the high road. If someone's bickering with you, it's probably not worth your time. Especially if you're a Bugatti owner, you probably got better things to do, you know what I mean? But here's the thing, bro, the funny thing. The cringy kid didn't kind of realize that for this to actually work, for this line to work, you need a Bugatti. Like, you can't say, what color's your Bugatti? They're going to be like, I don't have one, but neither do you, bro. Like, what? So yeah, basically this kid responds like, okay, what color is yours? And the kid's like, um, well, I honestly think the kid just didn't even think about the fact that for this to like make any sense at all, like for this to be a quote unquote own, dude, you need to own one yourself. Yeah, so anyways, right? Sure enough, the no, sorry, not the spoiled kid, the cringy kid. I think at this point, since he didn't have a comeback, he kind of realized he was like, oh, I forgot. I actually have a super important business call I gotta get to. And he like walks back to the back of the classroom, and the subscriber overhears the kids messing with him, be like, wow, like, Riz not working today? And the kid's like, bro, stop talking to me. I'm about to be in a really important business call. And for like the rest of the class, like the cringy kid like had his phone up to his like ear, but he just was like, yeah. I want $1 billion of stock. Actually, I want $1 trillion of bonds. Short the entire market, buy the like he was just saying a bunch of nonsense, bro. And it was so like at one point he like accidentally revealed that like he just had his calculator app open on his phone. I mean, obviously he wasn't actually calling someone telling them to short all the stock ever. Like bro probably has $12 in a Fidelity account. So yeah. Anyways, after this, like he didn't do anything as crazy and obscene as like this was for a little bit. Like I don't think he didn't come in with music again, but like for the next week he was being a little weird. This was like the worst day, and this is why this was the story time. But after about like a month, like he really chilled down, and like 2 months later, he like pulled the subscriber aside and like was this, he did this to a bunch of people and was like, dude, I'm so sorry for how I acted 3 months ago. Like I was so insecure about like certain things, and I just needed like I don't know. I'm so sorry. If you made this far into the video, support the channel by clicking the video on the screen right now. It helps out, and peace.